We are now streaming. I got to send out one more notice here to the open mic group. And we are on. So today's theme, top of the hour. Come on out, folks. The theme is cats.
Cats?
Yeehaw. And Drax has a hat. Daisy has a hat. I have a hat. And the hats we wear. For instance, I do this open mic. And I also am a disability activist of sorts. And I do poetry. And I work behind the scenes on a lot of things, these different hats we wear.
Mm-hmm.
Drax, I know you wear a lot of hats, and so do you, Daisy.
Mm-hmm. Shyla, you also love spiders, obviously, and you're breeding
Well, I found
them.
this hat. This is by Louise. It's in the marketplace. It's available in the marketplace, and I just thought it was really fancy. Hey there, Al. Good to see you.
Al is coming like every time. It gets crazier, and in a good way.
Yeah, I'm liking this, Al.
Wow. Daisy, what
and
is
a
your
jump.
hat? Oh. And look at this. This is your chef's head hat.
What?
Drax is checking out all the hats here.
Checking this out.
Watch out, mine might bite. I don't know.
Mine's got little gators on it.
Yeah?
It does.
Wait,
so
go
cute.
closer. I gotta go closer.
Little pictures of me. At least I think that's what it is.
You know, this is. Can I have napkins like that? I want napkins like that.
I wish I could capture that on the stream.
You can.
I have
You
to move
can
over to you.
Zoom in.
Hey,
you need
Shyla,
to zoom in,
you can either go over or you press F4 and then you decouple the camera. You can zoom in.
Yeah.
Press F4 and then you can go in.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Plus or minus on the keyboard to fine tune it.
What?
I just went right by her.
Plus or minus on the keyboard to slow or make it go.
Plus or
make
minus to
zoom,
make it slow.
Zoom slower or faster.
L, today is hat day.
Good.
The different hats we wear on open mic. L is not wearing a hat. Shall we?
But he's wearing a really cool
shall we
avatar.
abuse report him? Yes.
No. Oh, now I did now I did it too slow. There we go. I'm zooming in on Al. Do you see me zooming in on him?
I think Daisy is also looking up. Her eyes roll up into her own to look at her own.
And his
hat.
shirt says Music Club. You got the wrong shirt on, Al.
Yeah, that's Jesus. Schmoozy Club is at 11 a.m. Can't you read the clock? What are you, British? Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Sign everywhere. Sign, blocking out the scenery, breaking my mind.
Oh,
do this, don't do that. Can't you read the sign?
Al is saying first came via the events list, which takes you to an empty instance. Yeah, that's a known issue, Al. It's a little bit upsetting and confusing.
I tried to do the show from an empty instance, Al, last week, so I know what you're going through.
How was that? Was it empty?
It's pretty empty and quiet, and I thought, I don't know. Should I stream this? Just me talking to myself?
Hey, I'm going to go.
Oh, Al disappeared.
Oh. I'm going to come right back because I'm going to go through the events list now and then I'll come back and see if I appear here. And if not,
you find anybody.
Let's see. Yeah, if I Oh yeah. It is a different one. You got to be kidding me. Ugh. Open mic at 1:13. Wow, I'm in the village.
All right. Let's see if we are in fact live. Yes.
Oh, there's an interesting.
It's happening.
And it's so much darker here. Whoa, I haven't been in. Okay, let's go back. And then we know the issue. We know the issue.
Oh, we have to put this.
Let's go back here. That is a problem. That is a problem. Hey,
Oh,
you know
thank you.
what?
Events was linked to the wrong scene. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the village. And I don't mean the
Oh, it
East
was in the
Village,
vintage. No, no, the Harvest
the
Village.
Harvest Village, which is kind of like the East Village, just a little
Candle
bit
made your
cooler.
hair? It looks awesome.
Rahim? Rahim? He. Oh, Bluebell.
Is it
Bluebell has
Rahim? I thought it was Rahim.
Rahim. Yeah, sorry. Bluebell has hair, but she doesn't have a hat. Should we block her?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
No, not Bluebell. We love Bluebell.
Okay, Bluebell can stay.
And she says Candle made that hair. And she said she has headphones, which count as a hat. Here's Al. He's got a sailor's cap. Way to go, Al.
This is awesome. Woohoo.
Yay.
Yeah, okay, now
Woohoo,
Al
he
can
says.
stick around. Okay, shall we, Shyla, you're the boss. Should
I
we,
tell you, though, if I ever join the Navy
yeah,
and I see someone like Al,
yeah.
I'm just going to follow him to the music club.
Even, he doesn't have the music club shirt on anymore.
No. Uh-oh.
We got to talk about
Chose
hats,
this shirt.
Shyla. It's hat. It's
What
the
hats we wear? Yes, what the different hats we wear. And that could be, like, there could be a parental hat. You could be a student. But maybe we could ask, what is one of the funniest or most unusual hats or memorable hats you have worn?
Mm-hmm.
And so and I'm forgetting the story as I speak. I prepared a story for this, and it's like I'm behind the story and it's ahead of me.
I think the most memorable hat that
sorry,
Shyla is wearing is the hat
Yeah,
she's wearing
I
right
just
now.
I just did actually. I've just seen it. It's awesome.
Yeah, my spider hat. This is
Yeah,
by
spider
Louise.
hat.
It's on the marketplace.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like spiders.
Well, if you wanna, I can quickly. I can do a quick
Oh,
story.
I know one. I got it. I used to rent a room when I was in college, and it was kind of a the people who took care of it were of two minds. And I was the manager, which just meant that I determined who could rent there, and I took out the garbage once a week. That's all I had to do, and I got a little discount on my rent, so it was all good. And that was the hat I was wearing when I was a student and also a real big-time activist. And the people who owned the house, the husband and wife, were of two different minds. The husband never wanted to put a dime into the house, not one dime. And the wife, when she would come through, would say, "Why are all these things broken, right? And why haven't you told my husband so they can be fixed, right?" And I rented once to this guy who really believed he was an alien.
Was that not on the form that these people were not that aliens were not allowed to
It's
be
not
rented?
on the form. It's not on the form, and he was generally a fairly nice guy.
Yeah.
But he would say these odd things, like I remember once he came to me and he said, and this is just off the cuff, out of the blue. As an alien, I'm impotent. And I would be like, I don't know what to say to that. Like, what do you say to that as an opening line? But
You would just ask them how they procreate. Then, I mean, how does it work?
Well, I think it was here on Earth. I think that was the problem.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
See, and it started to make sense to me later.
That makes
On
total
Earth,
sense.
yeah, it doesn't work anymore. And so I just wore this hat for years. I had another guy rent who wrote on the door. He painted the whole room dark gray, and then he painted on the door, "Satan lives." And he was the nicest guy. He was the most peaceful, relaxed, nicest guy. So
Satanists are not always there's
I don't know that he was a Satanist. I
uh,
think he just found that controversial.
I see.
Yes, so he just put it on there to kind of.
That was a pre-internet troll.
Yes, exactly.
If he had the internet, he would have grieved a sim in Second Life with raining particles of Satan lives particles or something.
So, so Al says here in chat, the hat I'm wearing is made by Augustine. It does have a special meaning to me as it brings me back to my childhood. People say I've changed a lot, but I don't see it.
Hmm.
And he put a little
Awesome. You can
thing here.
elaborate,
He put a
Al, if you
picture
want.
of himself. Click the link and you'll see a picture of Al wearing a similar hat.
I can't click it in VR. That's the problem of VR. I'm wearing a
That's a problem.
VR hat, actually,
Yes,
on my head.
it's covering up your headphones too. But that's wonderful, Al. That looks so good. I wish I could cut to it in the stream and show it.
That's gonna come. That has to happen soon. Al, elaborate a little bit what you mean by like changing and how the hat,
Al
and you
says,
don't feel it, like that kind of thing.
in response to my inability to show the picture, Al says, VR is so 2018.
Yeah, I live in the past, Al. What can I say? I live in the past.
We're on the cutting edge, but thank you, Al.
Absolutely.
Anyone else want to share about
Did you tell Raheim
unusual
you can do in chat if you like, if you don't feel comfortable using your voice? There's a half-naked woman out there in the main room. I'm not going to address it. I'm going to ignore that. I have a quick story, or I know Daisy goes like, quick story? Never have a quick story. Well,
Go ahead,
I'll keep it
Drax.
tight, and then Daisy, and then you can have a long one. And I want to say I'm looking very much forward to going back to 113 because we have a different setup. The setup of this round table lends itself to conversation, which is not bad, but a more regular open mic setup with a mic, and the rest is the audience, and you have to go up to the mic and you claim your time. I think that for this show is going to be awesome when we go back to the 113.
Absolutely. All right, go ahead with your story, Mr. Drax.
Yeah, so two things came up when you announced the topic of hats. One is that I was visiting my mother's cousin who was in her early 80s, wonderful woman, and I go there often, and I listen to her, and we have coffee, and her son, a very political guy, and we talked a lot, and we go into these conversations, and then she listens to us. And one thing that we talked about is her son Wolfie and I were talking about is how people defer authority to the way people are dressed, and there is interesting experiments, and I didn't have time to look it up, but there is some research that was recently done that Wolfie referenced, where they had a guy in a suit, a clean-cut guy in a suit, address a group of people in some sort of controlled setting and told them total lies and bullshit, and the people bought it, and they were, this was a controlled study. Then the people were asked about that, and they just repeated that verbatim, and it was obvious wrong information. And then they did this again with the same group of people, and you can guess what happened. They took a guy who looks like me. I don't know, with a beanie and a beard, and hey dude, what's up, Rad? And he told them some very pertinent, important information, and the people dismissed it. How does this have to do with wearing hats? This may be a little bit of a leap, but I just thought about this because it shows us the conditioning that we go through, and we defer to people as authorities and as believable based on ridiculous signifiers like a suit and a haircut. And I think that's a huge problem. So I guess depending on what hat you wear, how about that segue? Depending on what hat you wear, you will be accepted, respected, or not. You know.
Well, I
If
think it also suggests that there are hats we wear we don't even know we're wearing. Hey, Seamus, welcome.
ah, That's a good point. Exactly, because we may be completely oblivious to the type of judging that's going on from the other side. Is that what you're saying basically? Like the
Well,
kind
I'm
of
saying we may
Mhm.
be conditioned to wear certain hats.
Mhm.
Like, I may not want to admit being a workaholic, but I may wear that hat.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think these are, when you were talking about the conditioning, when we give authority to other figures, we're actually wearing a hat
Mhm.
that says we're less than. That's a less than hat
Ah,
than that other
because we defer
person.
to them. We
Right,
immediately accept that hierarchy is what you're saying. Mhm.
right. And sometimes that's appropriate. If I'm having heart surgery, I don't want to do that myself. I want to defer to the heart surgeon.
Okay, but if Al came in here just because of where he wears the lab coat doesn't mean he's a good surgeon. I mean, I'm not saying maybe Al
Oh,
is. I
well,
don't know
maybe I
that well,
should
but
cancel that surgery with Al then. I want to
did
go back and read some chat because
you?
Bluebell wrote a nice thing in here. Bluebell
Oh yeah.
wrote, I wear so many hats, very diverse. Got me a mom hat, one that I wear when I care for my mom, one that I put on when I work at the bakery, and the most fun hat to me is the CG artist hat. All those hats, if you stack them up, you get me. And sometimes a hat can be heavy, and some make me light as a feather.
Wow, Bluebell, that's real. That's poetry. That's
Very
wonderful.
nice.
That is wonderful.
So, Seamus, we're talking about hats today, the hats we wear. Some of us wore hats. Uh, but if you want to jump in and talk about it, talk about hats. Daisy, you got a hat you wear?
Give me a couple of minutes. I'll just get my dinner,
Okay, then I
and
have
Oh,
another
then
one, a
okay.
real
I
quick
shall.
one. I have a quick one before when Daisy saw. Okay, so I told this story before, but I got an email a while ago when we started with Sansar Atlas hopping streams, and it was an email from a fan. It was a long email, German fan writing in German, and he writes, Draxter, I'm a big fan of your Drax files and the videos that you do in the documentaries, the reportage, and the way you profile the creatives in Second Life over the years have done tremendous service. I enjoy them. They're well researched. They're well presented. They're really professional, and they give me it was really pointing out how they were also really useful for him to point to that Second Life is not just a place for crazy people. Then, and it was interesting. So he wrote me literally like 2 pages of this sort of analysis and how he feels about my Second Life output, and then he wrote, Drexter, you probably realize that when I start with all the positive stuff, now comes some critique because there's still several pages, and I go like, yeah, you don't say, and then he goes on for 2 or 3 pages, ripping me apart in terms of the Atlas hopping shenanigans and the lighthearted joke entertaining stuff that we do in Atlas Hopping and other venues in streaming. So he contrasts the serious stuff with this, and he basically derides it. He said he says it's beneath me. I'm making myself look ridiculous. I'm doing myself a disservice and the platform and blah blah blah, and also then he goes into shredding basically Strawberry. Remember that Strawberry was co-hosting. I don't recall. I deleted that email. I don't recall
Yeah,
exactly what he was
Strawberry was a
saying.
great host.
Yeah, but he was basically saying also that she's sort of totally intellectually beneath me and stuff like that. So he went really he went there,
Hmm.
and that's when I kind of like, okay, this is not to be taken seriously. But it was interesting because then he ends with saying, Dragster, think of your big idol Frank Zappa. What would he what would he say about you if he saw you like that? Right? Going that low. And I was like, are you kidding me? Frank Zappa is probably the best example of someone who was an enormous intellect, who was an incredible artist, but who also had absolutely no problem doing a song like Valley Girl or Bobby Brown Goes Down. silly BS. Not BS, just silliness, silly fun, not BS at all. Silly stuff combined with this. So I don't feel I need to defend myself. It was just incredibly illuminating that the hats that I enjoy wearing, those different hats, that they feel incompatible to some. That's I guess what I got out of this. But again, this
Mm.
is really not a surprise because you hear any Hollywood actor about typecasting, that kind of stuff. I guess it's in that vein that in society we may not allow people to wear different hats. Maybe it's just something that we don't allow. We want them neatly typecast. So that's
I
that's my
don't think
second
so.
story.
I think I understand all of Bluebell's hats. Hey, El Diablo, good to see you.
Well, you do,
And
but the question is, do we allow people to wear them in society? Do we allow that? Look, there's a huge thing. My son's teacher, I forgot what it
I'm
was.
wearing a hat right now. Nobody's complaining about it. I'm mouse catcher.
Yeah, but we have a certain amount of freedom. Like let's talk about my son's teacher. I forgot which subject she teaches, but she has a YouTube channel where she's very young and she has a YouTube channel that does beauty recommendations and makeup tips. And I think
Well,
she had to close it down though, you know.
I think we like people to do what we think they're best at. Personally.
Well, that might be true. I think my father wanted me to be an engineer. I turned out to be nothing my father had expected. But I made it in life, which made him very happy. He wanted me to be an engineer because he thought I had the brains for it. And he thought it was a really secure career. And that's a parent caring about their child, trying to direct them in a way that will provide security and ensure their survival in the world.
So I think
All right, I want to talk about my mouse problem.
okay, can I say one thing? Because
Oh, yeah.
what comes up here and what Daisy and your comment have in common is that other people, oh yeah, my battery is getting low. Um, that other people, this is the common thread here, other people determine what hat we're supposed to wear. That's the commonality. In your case, a parent. And in my case, or what Daisy is basically like, an artist or
Everyone. Yeah.
yeah, but it's like,
Everyone.
somebody
Until
comes
you
out with a good
rebel.
album, you like that album, and then they come out with an unplugged album and you hate it, and so you go, you feel betrayed,
That's true.
that kind of thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
But I think
yeah,
I think this only goes on for so long. Like for me, when I was in college, I decided to put myself through school so that I could study what I wanted. I spent 10 years at university.
and that's how it actually should be. This brings me to another topic, but I already talked too much.
So I don't think it forces us to wear these hats, but I think it's comfortable. I would agree with you that it is a more comfortable road.
Yeah, because we're trying to please people. Of course it's comfortable. There's three reasons why when these hats are suggested, why most people wear them and then kind of feel unhappy and then maybe have a midlife crisis or something, is
Buy a
because
sports car.
a sports car, dye their hair blonde. That's what I'm doing right now while I'm changing my batteries.
Oh, oh.
No, but because like you said, it's easier. We get accepted better when we just give in to those expectations. And it's part of the nefarious nature of the system, which I don't think is very good. And we need to reform that system, where we go into a more colorful place. And the colorful place, like this one, with
I
Shames,
keep saying that.
with El
You
Diablo
need
always
to
standing in the
read.
corner. What?
I keep saying, I've said it several times. You need to read William Morris.
William Morris. Did you already?
William Morris. Yeah, but he's like, that's the sort of thing he says, people need to have different jobs, where they're sort of fishermen in the morning and an architect in the afternoon.
Yes,
And,
like a polymath,
well,
we call it
yeah.
polymath or Renaissance man or whatever. That actually is a good, that's one of the problems, the ultra specialization that industrialization demanded, and today it's even worse. But then it's being sort of propagated that in our neoliberal system, oh yeah, but in your leisure time you can do whatever you want, right? Not really, because you don't have any leisure time. Most people don't if they work for a living. So,
It's true. Seamus says here, everyone has a hat, a feeling to contribute in the way they can. And I think that's important. I think feeling that we're making a contribution. I know when I began to have health issues, I was real worried whether or not I could still contribute to the world. Would I have a purpose? And maybe that's what the hat symbolizes, our various contributions to life.
that is a good point. If we look at it, if we look at life as something to as a communal place to contribute. Now, if we're selfish sociopaths, I don't think that that is the number one.
Well, no,
Uh,
but I don't think anyone here is a sociopath.
no, not here, but out in the world. Not
Well,
everybody, but
El Diablo maybe, but
no, El Diablo ain't. Don't you?
hey, Ransom.
This might, hello,
I'm
Ransom.
just being random. I
Yeah.
love you, El Diablo.
So we're talking about hats. Shyla is the boss here. We're talking about different hats. Anybody who wants to share a story,
Yeah, are
please
you
go
ready,
ahead.
Daisy, with your hat
Yeah,
story?
yeah.
Once I
Nothing
was a
like the.
cook.
No, stop.
Yes, it's nothing like any of your, nothing about, it's about actual physical hats.
Oh.
It's from my childhood. When I was very young, a long time ago, when I was 9, in fact, it might have been 10 actually. It was probably the best week of my life that I spent, week of my childhood that I spent in Lourdes. It was on a pilgrimage. It was awesome. It was great fun. We all went with my best friend, and they had really lovely carers there and everything, and it was really lovely. But one of the distinctive things about Lewis, we went to sort of parties with, what were they called, the groups? Well, it was a handicapped children's pilgrimage trust that we went with, but the people used to go in groups, lots of disabled kids and adults as well. And you could always identify what group you were in, but because everyone had to wear hats.
Oh.
We had
Yeah.
red beret. Well, we weren't wearing red berets, but then when we got there, we discovered there was another group also wearing red berets. So we had to attach green ribbons to our red berets. So we were the group with the red.
So that's
red
right,
berets
because that's for the
with
teacher
green
or the
ribbons.
chaperone. That's the
Yeah.
way to identify the group and
Yeah.
people not the kids not getting lost. Yeah.
So yeah, I had that. I kept that hat for years. So I don't know
That's
whatever happened to it actually. Bit of a shame that I've no longer got my red beret
That's
with the
wonderful.
green tassels. Yeah.
And they had to put the green tassels because you went to France and then, oh, we made a mistake because everybody
Yeah.
is wearing a beret in France.
Yeah.
We should have
Well,
thought of
that's
that.
right.
We thought that
That's
children
right.
will stick out.
Yeah, it wasn't really very original going just with red berets, I guess. But
It's like,
yeah.
hey, we're gonna go to.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, the Joker is here. Joker, do you want to talk about hats? But please let Daisy finish. Daisy's speaking right now. Today the theme.
Yeah, I think that's about all there is really to say about the hats. I can't remember. Actually, I'm sure I've got a photograph somewhere of us all in our lovely red berets. I should try and find it.
That's an awesome
Thank you.
story.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I did an
Yeah.
excursion with kids once when I was 18, like as a summer job, and in the public swimming pool we had they had swimming caps with different colors to kind of keep them organized.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody who took their hat off or something? Like a
Not that I remember.
rowdy
Not that I
little kid?
remember. I don't remember that. No. No.
I probably would have, because that's just the kind of kid I was. I was incorrigible.
Who were the other kids that came in with their berets? Were they from the same school? No.
No, it's different, completely different group. I don't even know.
This is so
I'm not even
funny.
sure for. I don't even know for sure they were kids. Actually, they might not have been kids. Not every group I think was kids. But yeah, it was just there was another group with red berets, so we all had to
The, the, the,
change our hats at short notice.
the Joker is doing his OCD thing where he takes the books and he throws them there.
Throws them on the other side of the
That's
room.
fine, Joker. But if you want to talk about hats, today we're talking about hats. I know you're wearing a mask, and we're also very interested how you got those scars. But we're also interested if you have a hat story, if your mother maybe was a hat maker or something like that. You can.
He thought that was funny.
Yeah.
He liked that. Seamus says, clowns to the left, jokers to the right. And he says he couldn't resist.
Well, who else wants to share a story? Because I got a million.
Yeah, who else has a hat story? Wow, you're all so quiet. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Ransom,
I just
tell
want to
us
share.
about it.
Yeah, as a kid, I was in the junior firefighters, and we had these old uniforms when I started there. And they had these ugly side caps, known in Germany as Schiffchen. And I was happy when they really changed to these normal American-style baseball caps. So, yeah, I really don't like these side caps.
You need to make one in Sansar. I'm gonna buy it.
No, I really don't.
No,
Yeah.
no, we don't need them in Sansar. This is a fine world.
Can you type
Don't
it in?
ruin
Is
it.
it Schiffchen? Can you type it in the
Schiffchen,
chat that
or
people
I
can look it up?
just the thing that most resembles it is a side cap.
Ah, yeah. That is funny. Yeah, my father was with the fire department actually. That's a whole. We should do a fire department as the next theme.
Fire department or 911. We should just call it 911.
What's your Sansar emergency?
Yeah, what's your sense? The Joker like that.
The Joker is, I'm very proud of this group. Sorry, this is an aside, but we really we helped the Joker to reintegrate into society. I mean, I'm not so sure. I mean, maybe he's secretly still murdering people and stuff, and it could be. But right, Joker? Why don't you get your hand puppets and come back? Huh? You got these nice hand puppets? The streaming
Ladies.
the streaming audience wants you to get the hand puppets and maybe a hat or something.
Hello, beautiful.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I think that maybe his mask is kind of a hat, isn't it? It's a hat that covers the whole face.
Okay, so I was obsessed with baseball hats for a little while. I'm not so much anymore, but getting a merch hat was always a huge deal. And so this is just a
What
time.
kind of hat? Explain what that kind of hat is.
Well, first of all, I got a really nice Cubs baseball hat from a wonderful person in Chicago. It was limited edition. It was super rare. And she gave it to me for my son, and that's awesome. And her name is Shyla. And when I
Oh
was
yeah, I remember I gave you that Cubs World Series cap. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And so there is a Sansar hat out there, a baseball hat that the executives wear, only the top echelon. It says Sansar, has a Sansar logo on it. Unbelievable. I've seen it before. Ebbe has worn it. Sherry Bryant, the development director, has worn it. I was at Linden Lab in December for a few meetings coming through town, going to another town, just picking up a few awards because I'm an award-winning filmmaker and a huge celebrity. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I had to sneak that in there. And I met with Maya from Linden Lab. You guys remember Maya? Wonderful
Yes.
security officer there. And I was talking about, and we had a meeting outside at the Starbucks around the corner, just getting to know each other and talked a little bit. And then I don't know how this came up, and I did talk about how I was obsessed with baseball hats, and I have a bunch of really kind of rare ones. I have an Ari hat. I was working at the Ari studios in Munich once. I got a hat there. Um, and so, I don't have any Linden Lab related hat. I don't have a Second Life hat. I don't have a Linden Lab hat. I have nothing, you know. And then she says,
Oh,
okay, hold on, wait here. And she went inside. She came out and she gave me a Sansar hat. And I have it. And if you come to the music club today, I will share a video where I play piano and I'm wearing the hat.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the Joker's mask, and Bluebell said masks are a thing too, as much as hats, yet deeper.
Bluebell
And
wants to
then
explain.
Seamus says, 10 years in Air Force made me not like hats. After that, it messed my hair or rubbed the sides off. It has grown back now, and maybe it was nerves.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when you have to wear hats in military, so like my dad when he did military service, my dad actually was in that has nothing to do with a hat, but he was in military jail for one night because he had to greet like at the what is the English term for Kaserne ransom? Help me out, Jesus. The fort, the right um the training the fort, right? So he he was there. You always meet your superiors and they cross your path, and then you always have to greet them. And this happened in the
Salute.
yes, you
Yeah,
have to
you have to
salute them.
salute them.
Right. Sorry, I'm a hippie. I don't know anything, but I'm Jack Bauer deep inside. Uh, this is my two different hats: hippie on the outside, Jack Bauer on the inside. No. But my dad greeted. This is a
Everybody
story.
loves you, Drax.
What's that? E- Even without me having not done military service?
Yeah, we all love you, Drax. Not a problem.
Okay, thank you. I don't want to
No
come
harm
across.
here.
I'm not a draft dodger. Did you guys think that's what I was?
No,
No,
military
not
service is not for everybody anyway. So
No, but
not at all.
in Germany, you could in my generation you were able to do military service or civil service. I have
Social work.
social work. Yeah, I worked at a psychiatric institution. It was very interesting. Um, but in the U.S., my father-in-law was in the Korean War. He passed away 2 years ago. But that was amazing stories. Now I'm going all over the place. But he was like doing parachuting into Korea and then basically lying there in the grass for 2 days until he got his orders to storm the village and whatnot. It's really amazing. But sorry, where was I? Yeah, my dad saluted this one superior like 6 times in one day, and then he crossed his path a seventh time, and then my dad said, reportedly, because he tells that story at every family dinner or some event, he said, the seventh time I was tired, I didn't greet him. And he said, I'll say this in German, Soldat, warum grüßen Sie nicht? Why are you not saluting me? And then my dad said, well, because I already saluted 6 times, that's enough. And then he was in jail for a couple days.
That's enough. 6 is the magic number.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So much for Lucky 7.
Well,
Yeah, Bluebell says both her grandfathers were military, and I have an uncle that also was in the Korean War.
Bluebell, I can't give you that Sansar hat. That's basically Maya. Now I'm streaming and I'm saying this on the stream. She smuggled it out of some secret stash that they have there. We should demand Sansar hats from the powers that be. Wait, who's out there?
Uh-oh.
Somebody came in with a
Found
mouse
somebody.
hat. Mouse mask.
Yeah, I saw someone pop in with a mouse mask and then they disappeared. Anybody else got hat stories? Salute, ask one, beg for it. Oh,
Let
Lupo
me
really
throw out
wants
this
your
question.
hat.
I want to ask everyone that question. I mean, Seamus, how do you deal with having to wear different hats, or let's call it different expectations from people? You know, do you feel like you're confined by if somebody already has an impression of you, like, are you concerned that if you then change your hats sort of mid relationship or something, then they go like, ugh, I didn't see that coming, you know?
Amos says, funny, I had to go on stage to accept an award, but the commander was so close I could not salute soon enough, and then later I got a letter of reprimand.
What?
And Seamus says, I try to be me. That's my hat.
That is good. This was just as I'm asking this question, I think the best advice that you could give anyone is maybe, and this is not easy, but try to not confine yourself in the first initial meeting. But I wouldn't even know what, it's basically then metaphorically, if you meet somebody anew, you should maybe have all your hats on at the same time. You should. That's what we should have done, but you can't do that in Sansa. You can't stack the hats on top of each other.
Oh, look who's here. Luca's here.
Yeah,
Hey,
Luca.
Luca, welcome. We're talking about hats. I want to say something, Drax. I don't think, like, when you're getting to know somebody in a relationship, you want to show all your hats. As a woman, I don't want to show my I'm out of my mind hat on the first date. I don't want to wear all those hats.
Oh, I didn't mean relationship with like a romantic relationship. I meant just anything like you meet someone outside or I at some point I can't help it because I'm just at my age now that I kind of like, it's not that I don't give a flying F or anything. I want to be kind or anything, but I don't have anything to it's weird. I guess for my son who is 15, I wear a hat that shows me as the most embarrassing adult ever, but I think every teenager feels that way. So, but I'm just thinking like,
Dad,
well, at the grocery store, like, I do goofy stuff and again, I mean,
do you
yeah,
get the rolled eyes look?
I do, but I also get laughs and the woman at the register, like I told you this last time, she's from the Ukraine. She said, do you give lectures at university? I would pay to hear you. It's very funny. So, but I know that I was helping her get through her day. She likes when I come and when we chat a little bit. So I guess the hat that I'm wearing of this goofy person, I also wear in the physical world, and I was really concerned about public perception of myself when I was in my 20s. Again, maybe this totally normal, probably, right? Everybody probably has that. But if yeah, I had this epiphany yesterday, like, was like, whoa, it's so weird that I don't care what people think of me that much anymore. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. But in my
No,
20s, I
I
was
think
like
it's
super
good, and
aware.
I think it comes with age and wisdom. Seamus is saying here, I find it easier to be me.
Yeah.
Take me as I am. That seems to work for me. Not all people respond to me, but maybe I am just, he says lazy. I don't think so. I don't know that we were all meant to like each other.
We just don't like kids anymore. They're annoying.
What were you saying, Luca?
Maybe we just don't like kids anymore. They are annoying.
We don't like whom anymore?
Kids?
Kids.
Oh, I love kids.
I like kids, but I think when I was a kid, I was very unwise.
I just I'm try to say this again. Look, I'm not sure. I don't want to misinterpret what you're saying. The relationship between a teenager and a parent in public, that's totally normal. That a parent is like super embarrassing. I enjoy that totally. I enjoy being that weird goofball. That's you know. So
You enjoy being dad.
I'm gonna write what I said on chat.
yeah, please.
Oh, she's
Luca.
going to write it. Great.
Luca, by the way, it's so great that you come here and feel free to use voice. We're here to listen and to be patient, and we're not in a rush if you want to get it out. I know that sometimes people feel, oh, my English is not that good. I get this we get a lot of messages, but um we don't discriminate against anyone or shut anyone down, and I hope that people feel free.
Here's what she
Except for
wrote.
German accents.
Luca says, I was just saying maybe we don't care about the kids anymore. They're annoying. And then she says she's half kidding, though.
I care about kids the most. I think no, I know what you're saying. The kids are not annoying. I think adults are actually quite annoying. Kids are
And
free.
then Seamus, I'm sorry, I'm just going to put in here. Seamus says, each decade we change the way we feel about other people, sometimes for the better and sometimes not. And Bluebill says that's correct. And it may not be clear, Luca, but we're talking about hats and the hats we wear.
Oh, here's
Hey, Stryker, good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
Stryker. Hey,
It's all right.
welcome
We're
to Open
talking
Mic.
about hats, so welcome to Open Mic. And who's this here? This is Nayusha. Good to see you, Nayusha. That's an awesome avatar. Same for you, Stryker.
Hey,
Nice avatar.
How do you use the full body? I got the legs. I don't know how to get them to go.
Not sure. This is the Open Mic gathering. Not the technical support hour. Sorry, that was a snide remark.
We will have a new
Stryker.
hub coming up. There's a new hub coming
Yeah.
up tomorrow.
Stryker,
If you came
tomorrow
back
is
here
New
tomorrow.
Pub. Tomorrow we have also Linden Lab people with us, and every answer will be given. I don't know. I don't have the pucks. I think you have to probably assign it in the settings, I'm sure. But they should be detected. Meanwhile, we're talking about hats. Do you wanna share a story about hats? Do you wear any hats?
I wear one hat and it says "Don't tread on me." That's all I got.
Oh, a libertarian. Awesome. That's good. I'm a Marxist. This is from my new show on Friday. Drax meets libertarians. No, but welcome to 114 Harvest, Stryker. I'm the guy who with the big mouth, but actually Shyla is hosting this, and I'm sorry.
Oh,
No,
appreciate it.
it's okay. Just insult the nice people who come to the show. It's all right.
Well, I think I can handle it.
Can you handle it? Well, so you wear
I-
this hat, don't tread on me. Tell us what it means to you, Stryker.
Start this conversation. I come from VR chat, so it's toxic enough.
No, this is not toxic, Stryker. We welcome you. We welcome VR chat refugees every week because no, seriously, we are patient. We accept people. We're not racist. Nobody here
I
has
didn't want to be here. Luca told me to get on here.
What? Luca brought you?
Yeah.
Good. So I can guarantee you one thing: you will not find an avatar here with the name Adolf bin Stalin. Because
What are we doing here? Let's get on VR chat.
no, we're not.
No, we're having a show here. We're streaming open mic here.
Yeah, we're
So
streaming.
we're talking
open
about
mic.
hats.
We're talking, dude. We're so boring. We just stand around the table and talk. If you
That's a big yikers.
then maybe you're in the wrong world, Stryker.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't been here long enough to find out.
Stick around.
Okay.
We will blow your mind.
I hope something else gets blown.
Uh-oh. Hey.
We don't do that here.
This is a family show.
Wrong show.
This is PG-14. But you might want to hang out with Out of Order on Saturday. So come back Saturday. No, stick around. Whatever. Where are we going? Shyla, you were saying what? Wait, there's somebody else here.
Wait.
Come on in, Bubba. Bubba is wearing
Get
a cool
everybody
hat,
in here.
like a stone on his head. Look at that.
There's the Joker. Where's... Oh, look, the
Joker's coming
raccoon's here. Bubba.
The raccoon?
Yep, there's a raccoon here. Now you should a raccoon now.
I had to come back as the raccoon.
Welcome, Bubba.
Everybody.
We're almost
Bubba.
wrapping the show. Can I just say, as a nitpicky German dude, I hate it when people don't come on time. Can't you guys read the events list? What's wrong with you people? Only
what has happened?
And Ransom is German, and he didn't even show up on time.
Yep.
In the last
breaking the
5 minutes,
stereotype.
you've insulted everybody.
No, not everybody.
No, just most.
Hey, man.
That's my other hat. That's the hat you've not seen yet, Shyla.
Oh, no.
Here's a book called How to Be Polite or Win People Over. I don't know.
Oh yeah, good. Now you're
Win
shiny.
people over.
That's the how to what's that book by God damn it, Daisy, you always recommend it.
Hugh Hefner?
Carnegie guy.
Carnegie, that's right, Carnegie,
Yeah.
exactly. Daisy always
How
recommends
to
it.
win friends and influence people.
Daisy's here.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
That book.
Baba, are you
How to win
Daisy's
friends
friend?
and
Now
influence
see the chaos is coming in to harvest. Jesus.
Yeah, a lot of chaos here. Even Al is just sitting on the table. He's like, I can't handle it.
The Joker
I
loves
gotta
it.
sit down.
The Joker brings the OCD is coming back. We almost had the Joker normalized. God damn it. Oh.
And then the raccoon showed up.
Oh. The Joker.
Okay.
Joker, do you want to tell us about how you got your
Blue
scars?
Bell.
He left.
He left?
Did he left?
He went up the stairs and later.
Oh, you went into the village.
Despite the couch.
Rico is here. No,
Oh,
no,
here they are.
Joker's there. He's out there.
Coffee machine.
Rico's here.
Rico.
Seamus has got a different headset on.
Excuse
He
me.
put on. Seamus, what's that mean to you? Because that looks like a television.
I think ravioli made that.
I cannot wait until we go back to the open mic format with the mic in one corner of the room and everybody sitting and listening to whoever has the mic. This table is insane. This table turns everyone into a child.
Well, and all the books and everything that you have.
Yeah, the people
it's-
throw
it's-
the books. I mean, people just don't have any discipline.
I'll just put a link in chat, by the way.
Yeah?
Oh, let's take a look. Here's a photo.
What photo
It's
is
a
this?
media hat, Seamus says. He's got
this
a
your
media
hat?
hat on.
This is our hats.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, they were little berets, weren't they?
Yeah.
So, Bubba, do you have a hat story? We have a few minutes left. And by the way, at 11 o'clock... No? Okay, thank you. That's good.
No hat story. No.
I think-
Next yes or no question.
I think for the one semester where I taught music at the Santa Cruz Waldorf School, you remind me of a student there. So, would you like to talk about the A harmonic minor scale? No.
No.
All right, let's move on.
I see all those berets. I'm thinking Prince now. I roll a raspberry beret.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Prince.
Yeah. What did I want to say about hats? I mean, avatars are also hats. Maybe we should...
Or are they masks?
Oh, Joker's back.
Well, Shyla, you have all these tons of avatars that you used to wear depending on your mood.
Right, depending on my mood.
Yeah. They're different hats, in a way.
Yeah, they are different hats, you know. I used to wear an avatar locked in a potato sack, for example. And that's when I didn't want anyone to bother me. I'm in my potato sack, leave me alone.
And you had a tumbleweed avatar, too. What was that about?
So, the tumbleweed, I was just going with the flow. Just going with the flow. You know.
Joker, that's a
It's
little
all-
creepy. You're standing a little too close here.
To Bluebell, yeah.
Joker, why don't you
Bluebell
get your...
says, and the funny thing is,
yeah.
behind that mask avatar, we feel okay to be more real than we do in real life or the physical world in most cases, Bluebell says.
But I would, again, this opens another can of worms. It's not a can of worms. But I would say the avatar is not... If a mask is something where you're hiding, I mean, it depends how you define it. But if a mask is something...
Yeah, maybe the avatar is expressing us more.
Exactly. That's what where I was going. It expresses
like
more of the inside. Bubba, are you
Lucas
eating?
says...
No.
Lucas says, yeah, the avatar is more of a representation of ourselves than our real life body.
Yes, Luca is saying that. Luca?
Yeah, Luca's saying that.
The avatar
is Bluebell says a mask is not just for hiding. It can also make us more real or more pretty or more free.
Yeah.
I look like this in real life, man. Come on.
Yeah, no, well, Baba, we all knew that. That's not true. I saw you down at the grocery store yesterday.
Yeah, see?
And remember when I said you got to lose some weight to fit in the tux? And you were like, yeah, tell me about it. And then you grabbed these 3 pizzas and said, that's not how you go about losing weight, man. And you go like, yeah, what the hell?
Exactly, what the hell, man?
Well, he'll lose some weight with all this jumping he's doing.
That's when I got to jump.
The Joker. The Joker.
You got the Joker excited.
I better stop that.
Shyla, do we want to designate a theme for next week? Do we want to
the theme for next week, I think, was designated. It's going to be, for those in America, 911. For those in Europe, 011. Or what is it,
112? Actually, that's Feuerwehr. 110, right, Ransom? 110.
Police 110.
Yeah.
For me, it's
whatever is the emergency number you dial, that's our theme for next week.
That's awesome. I'm going to tell stories of my dad when he worked at the fire department, and I grew up with horror stories of people dying because their television imploded or they fell asleep with a cigarette. I mean, talk about trauma. Talk about me growing up. Dad, what's new? Well, son, 3 people just died because their television imploded. Not a lot of people know that electricity is still going into the television, even if the television is turned on standby. What's for dinner, son? Nothing, Dad. I just threw up. Oh. Anyways.
Al says the emergency number here is 278-9936 544-223-8837-6653.
Whoa.
Wow.
Joker, what's your emergency number? I know. Joker, why don't you play a little bit with your dolls? By the way, at 11 o'clock is Music Club. Today is favorite themes, favorite cover songs. At 11 o'clock, there's a greeting from me, a special video that I recorded specially for the crowd, where I'm wearing my Sansar hat. In real life, it's a real life video. Mad Eye is hosting right here at 11 o'clock, but you need to prepare your YouTube link for your favorite cover song.
Yeah, it's cover songs this week.
Cover song. And also this Saturday, Solus is giving away 1,000 Linden dollars. 1,000 Linden dollars for the best avatar. This is not the same as the Linden Lab official.
Lindens. Your name's Sansar.
Did I say Linden dollars?
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
said
God, what's
Linden
going on?
Labs and second, but it's Sansar.
Sansar dollars. No, I can't wait until the currency is there's an exchange. But 1,000 Sansar dollars for the best avatar at Atlas Hopping. Saturday, Atlas Hopping, 11 o'clock. 1,000 Sansar dollars, and this does not have to be a custom made avatar. It's a custom combination of existing things. So we're not. This is a celebration of creativity based on what's available. You know, work with what you have. So, for example, Bubba, I would say like, yeah,
I do.
putting like the dew up there. That's not super uncreative necessarily. But if you were smoking a
It hides my
cigarette,
bald spot.
well, that's true.
Thank you
Okay.
for coming.
See, Bubba's made a good point. I mean, if you sell it like that, you may have won. That's good. Rico is drinking heavily. He was
what?
that looked so good.
I've not got anything.
No, but the bottle has a perfect size for your avatar, for your hands.
Yeah.
They're made for your hands.
Little Red Riding Hood met a wolf who was drunk on whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In his Hawaiian shorts. I love your avatar. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Likewise.
Rico, do you know Fox? Fox Sillenpire?
No.
Okay. Well, he was asking about you. He was asking if there's any furries in Sansar. I said, well, I know one.
I think I've seen a few, but there's not loads.
No.
I think now, because of the new update, I think there might be a bit more, but...
Yeah. Well, Shyla, we're going to wrap the stream. And we're back at 11 o'clock for the next event. And this event happens every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And
every Wednesday.
At 9 o'clock Pacific Second Life time.
And you guys have a whole week to think about your most funny or embarrassing or serious
story.
or heroic emergency response.
And you also have a whole week to train yourself to show up on time.
No.
Just
he's not the host. Just disregard.
I'm just a curmudgeon janitor. It's like, clean up after yourself, kids. Clean up, Bubba.
You know, it's funny.
Thank you,
everyone.
The Joker.
Thank you, Joker.
The Joker.
See, there were two guys locked in a lunatic asylum. One night they decided they didn't like that anymore. They decided to escape. So they made it up to the roof, and there, just across this narrow gap, they see rooftops stretching across town, stretching to freedom. Now, the first guy, he jumps right across, no problem. But his friend, oh, no way. He's afraid of falling. So the first guy, he has an idea. He says, hey, I got this flashlight with me. I'll shine it across the gap between the buildings, and you can walk across the beam and join me. But the second guy said, what do you think I am, crazy? You just turn it off when I'm halfway across.
No. All right, I'm going to thank everyone
That is
for
actually
coming.
pretty funny. Did you get that? That is pretty
good.
funny.
It was awesome.
Joker.
All right, thank you,
Okay.
Rico. Thank you, Luca. Thank you, El Diablo. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Seamus. Thank you, Ransom. Thank you, Bubba. Thank you, Joker.
Thank you, El Diablo.
Thank
He's
you,
here
Al.
in the corner.
And especially thanks to everyone who was here, Bluebell, and all those who had to leave. And thank you, Naisha and
Nayusha didn't come on time. Don't thank him.
I gotta thank everyone. All right, peace out, everyone.
11 o'clock music club. 11
Yep,
o'clock
11
music
o'clock
club. Don't
music
forget. Don't forget. The Joker is watching the YouTube stream. Oh my God. He's multitasking. He's telling jokes. Okay, I'm gonna cut the stream next Saturday. Avatar contest. Don't forget. This coming. Stop the stream. Stop the stream.
There you